Heavy hearts across America tonight as the country tries to heal from back-to-back mass shootings.
More than 30 people were killed this weekend during separate attacks in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio. While authorities are investigating the El Paso shooting as a possible hate crime, the motive for the Dayton shooting remains unclear. Many in Washington have pointed to mental illness as a possible explanation, including the president, who called for mental health reform.
And make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement. Mental illness and hatred.
The president's comments today drew concern from mental health advocates, including a local teen who is working to combat the stigma surrounding mental health disorders. News 8's Abby Alford joins us now with more. Abby?
Carlo, a Valley Center teen who plays video games and says that he's been diagnosed with anxiety disagrees with the president that it causes shootings. The teen says rather than talking about mental health, more needs to be done to encourage those to get help.
When 17-year-old Reese Conker from Valley Center watched President Donald Trump address the nation about the mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton.
We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace.
That didn't sit well with Reese.
To blame shootings on video games is, I don't think that's right.
President Trump also called on reforming mental health laws.
Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun.
Reese, who lives with a mental illness, has anxiety and has had psychosis episodes, says video games have helped him.
Video games have helped millions of people. They've helped me cope with my emotions.
Mental health professionals have said video games and mental health are not to blame for mass shootings. The American Psychological Association tweeted, access to guns means more lives lost.
The guns are never going away. They're not going anywhere.
Reese believes that more needs to be done to support youth struggling with mental health.
And I thought I was alone. I thought isolated. I thought I was just in the dark.
It wasn't until last year that Reese says that he shared a letter with his mom.
He said, I want counseling, and you got it. Let's do it.
For Reese, he doesn't say he's brave for speaking up, but many do.
Help one person, that's all that matters.
And he hopes that the next person reaches out for help.
It doesn't define me as a person at all. It's just something I live with and I'm learning to deal with as I go on, as I get older, as I become a better person.
Reese says he's in therapy and on medication, and he hopes by speaking up tonight it will help others overcome that stigma attached to mental health. And tonight when I was talking to Reese, I first had said, you know, thank you for being so brave to come forward tonight. And he says, I'm not being brave. There are thousands of others who talk about this. I said, but there are thousands of others who don't. And to be able to help give that voice for maybe someone who's just trying to reach out to get help, and probably important for parents and friends and others that may see these signs and trying to help and reach out to them.
Just to get that dialogue going so that people are as comfortable talking about that as they are any other health issue.
And sticking up for himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a big part of this too.
Such a brave teenager, and his mom and family so incredibly supportive.
Wonderful. All
Thanks,
right.
Abby.
Thanks, Abby.